Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's episode of Talk Exchange. Today's guest is Rob Davidson of Davidson Advertising, and the topic today is Giving Tuesday. And Rob is actually a past national president, so he's got a lot of great information. He talks all about their prevention of child abuse campaign and how they really strive to give communities hope. It's a very positive message that they work very, very hard to try to put out there. So great episode. Hope you enjoy this one. As a side note, I do want to say, if you are a potential future guest and you've ever kind of wondered, well, how do I act during the interview? How do I keep the conversation moving? This is an episode you might want to pay attention to because Rob does a great job of that. It just flowed really nicely, and we were really excited to have him on the show. So hope you guys enjoy this one, and we'll see you again next week.
Welcome to Talk Exchange. I'm Tracey Edwards, CEO of the National Exchange Club.
And I'm Kristie Lindahl, Director of Communications.
Kristie, time is flying. We were just talking to our wonderful producer, Brad, about how now we're at mid-November. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. We're almost at the end of the year. Don't you feel like every year you say that though it goes faster and faster?
I think so. But Mother Nature agrees because it's been too warm.
True. That is true. We've had an extended fall here in Northwest Ohio, which has been lovely. But now it's, even though looking at the next week, I was wondering if I should bring my succulents in, but it still won't be freezing yet.
No, not yet.
I'm excited. Nope. Well, you know what this time of year means? Giving Tuesday is upon us, which is really one of our favorite days of the year.
I love it. People come out year after year. People come out to support Exchange, and they share it with their friends and family through social media. It is encouraging to see all these people coming out in one day and saying so many great things about what we do.
It is. And, a lot of that is members, certainly because they believe in this organization. But then through the power of social media, we can have a really large reach. And people have so many choices that day. And you hear me talk about that a lot because I believe it, that when people really do their research and look at where those organizations spend their money, how they spend their money on programs, development, those sorts of things, they'll see that Exchange really stewards their funds wisely.
Oh, absolutely. It's very important to us, to use our funds appropriately and transparently.
Yes, absolutely. So we're excited about something that we have new this year, thanks to past national president Rob Davidson was president of the National Exchange Club in 2007, 2008. Rob also owns Davidson Advertising, and he came up with a great new way for Exchange to expand our reach, both in donations, membership, and public awareness. Welcome, Rob.
Hi, Tracey. Hi, Kristie. How are you today?
Oh, great, Rob.
Great. Really great to see you. Thanks for joining us from your office in Arizona.
Yes, our pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I know when we were at our convention recently in San Antonio, Texas, which was awesome, and you're part of the past National President's Advisory Council, and you made an offer to the National Exchange Club, which we gladly took you up on, and it had to do with a social media campaign that you and your team have developed. So talk about what led you to come up with this idea.
Well, after watching lots of television commercials, I've seen spots for St. Jude's and Shriners Hospital and ASPCA, and all of them are running PSAs asking people to donate $19 per month to their cause and being some kind of special donator. And I just thought this might be a really great way for Exchange to reach out and to try to do something similar for our child abuse prevention efforts. And with social media, we can target anybody we want. And that was kind of the idea of how we came up with this.
Simple and perfect.
Absolutely. And, I think you're right, because we all see those commercials and we think, well, that campaign must work, right? Because they keep doing it. And $19 is an amount that people really don't think twice about, right?
Right. And from our standpoint, I guess it's under the threshold of you're reporting to the IRS, so we don't have to send out special forms and things like that at the end of the year to folks because it's under $250. And $19 a month, what's that? 4 lattes or 4 cups of coffee someplace. When you think about it, it's not a lot of money.
It's not. In fact, I don't think it's even 4 anymore.
No,
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, 1.5 maybe.
Less than that.
Exactly. And there's lots of folks out there that are small contributors to organizations, and we can target these folks through social media. and that was kind of the how we came up with the idea and decided to make the offer to exchange. And we're getting ready to roll. We're getting ready to roll this thing out soon.
We are indeed. In fact, on behalf of the National Exchange Club, thank you for being so generous with your offer. Working with you and your team, as Kristie and I have, has been a delight, and we appreciate what you've come up with. And I believe by the time this airs, right after that, we can expect this campaign to roll out. So, what results do you hope to see in terms of donations, membership, and awareness?
Well, I'm hoping, to see results.
Hmm.
As far as specific, I can't tell you, but I did a little bit of research, and just to give you an idea, when the ASPCA started a similar campaign in 2007, they were getting $85 million a year in donations. In 2019, that went to $280 million because of this campaign. So it
Wow.
tripled just with these video ads and what we've seen on TV. And the ones and theirs are quite intriguing with the animals suffering and starving. And we did not want to go with that kind of a
Mhm.
message with child abuse prevention. Our message is very positive and upbeat, and I think that's really the way to go to get the people to really believe in what we're doing.
Well, I
Yes.
think so too. That significant impact in terms of dollars raised, certainly. But I like where you went in keeping this campaign positive because, as you know, Exchange is a leader in the prevention of child abuse, and via our Exchange Parent Aid, which is evidence based and been deemed effective in promoting and proving safe families, stronger families, keeping kids safe. So it's a very positive result, and people want to be part of
Yes.
something that's positive and that works, right?
Yeah.
We have that to offer.
We're
Mhm.
giving families hope. We're giving communities hope. How could you not want to be part of that?
Exactly.
Hmm.
And
Exactly.
mm,
With
to
all the
your
negativity in the world too, it's nice to see a positive message out there. Hope.
Indeed.
well, that's a good point. You're right about the positivity needed. And even with the $19, to your point, I know I speak for myself, but for a lot of other people as well, that I support quite a few organizations that just
Hmm.
touch my heart or come across my
Hmm.
screen, and I connect with it. I like that. So I think we have a great chance of people looking at that and saying, you know what, I can feel that. I want to be part of that
Yes.
effort.
Hmm.
Yes, and with the social media, we can target people that donate to these other causes if we want to, or people like them. So we can develop a profile and go after those kinds of folks. So it's modern technology has helped a lot, and I think there's a lot of positive aspects to this for us.
Sure. Yeah. And technology, it's a wonderful thing and it's taken us so far
Hmm.
in exchange. We've been able to do so much. Um, but there's something to be said about word of mouth too. So
Yes.
how do we encourage, Rob, our members who know about this campaign to help get their friends, families, coworkers involved?
Well, what I'd like to see is I'd like us to send this video out to all of our past and current leaders and ask them to share this with their friends and relatives, their Facebook friends, whoever, their non-exchange club friends. This might be a good opportunity for their non-exchange friends who've heard about exchange for years and years from these folks but don't have time or whatever. At least
Hmm.
this is a way for them to get involved. And we're calling these folks exchange advocates for kids, and what a great way for them to be a part of it. And we're going to be talking, I know, later this week about developing some things to send out to these folks when they sign up. So um, I think we can make this a really positive campaign for everybody. Get a lot of people involved that never really could get involved before.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's exciting. And I think it's exciting for clubs. I hope that exchange clubs and members who are listening to this see this as a great opportunity. And I know you've thought about this too, Rob. What do you see as being a result, not just financially, but for exchange clubs in terms of awareness and then hopefully recruiting opportunities, right?
Absolutely. Say for instance, I'm in Arizona, and say we get a lot of people joining up from the Phoenix area. Well, we've got 4 or 5 clubs in the Phoenix area. There's no reason why we can't send these folks' names out to the clubs, let them contact them. Like in Phoenix, we have our Tempe Healing Fields every year around
Hmm.
9/11. What a perfect opportunity to reach out to these folks and see if they'd be interested in helping at that healing field,
Absolutely.
because we certainly need lots of volunteers for that kind of project, or anywhere in the country. And if we're getting a lot of folks signing up in different areas, perhaps we can move into these areas and build clubs. It gives us some contacts in places that we're not currently serving. So I think the possibilities are endless. It's just up to us to use our imagination to make it work.
Yeah, and I would recommend too, people tag their national or club members, tag their
Yes.
national partners, tag their local partners, the ones who are supporting specifically in prevention of child abuse.
True.
And those organizations and individuals will then share it hopefully as well. So yeah, go ahead and tag those people that have made an impact with your club.
Absolutely. Well, I believe Giving Tuesday, in fact, which is coming up here
Yeah.
too, started as a social media campaign,
It
if I'm
did.
not
It
mistaken. And, that's become such an impactful movement that everybody knows that the Tuesday after Thanksgiving is Giving Tuesday. We just
It's crazy how
expect
fast it took off.
What have you seen? Why do you see Giving Tuesday becoming such a powerful movement, Rob?
Well, it's the time of year, it's after Thanksgiving. People are in a different mode, positive about the holidays. The holiday season goes, depending on the calendar, 4 to 5 weeks. So I think, the timing is perfect, and people reach into their pockets and donate at this time to causes that they're interested in. So it makes a lot of sense. And I think it's a great opportunity for us to send this video out to all of our members at that time. Because as far as the social media campaign that we're going to execute, we're going to really need on the back of it a huge campaign from all of our members, because we can only reach so many people, but we can certainly reach a lot more when our members send it out to their friends and relatives and anybody that they can think of that can be a part of this
Yeah.
process.
We have an incredible national reach.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Working together, some amazing things can happen.
Oh,
for
unity.
sure.
Is that what you meant?
Yeah, we were talking about that this morning with a motto like unity for service. It's amazing.
Yep.
That says everything. I like it. So, in fact, that's a great way for non-members to support exchange because, some things that we do, like other organizations, some people may feel like, well, I'm not part of that. So then they disregard it. But I like what you've done here is it appeals to everyone. It can bring somebody in and kind of capture their attention and make them feel something, right?
Exactly. And this is perfect for the people who tell you, well, I don't have time to join, or, I've got too much stuff on my plate. Well, okay, fine, but you can still be a part of it. $19 a month is nothing.
Mhm.
And maybe at some point this will get them to really say, hey, this is an organization I'd really like to get behind. But at least it's a foot in the door with some folks. It's just, I just think it's worth the opportunity.
Absolutely. We're excited about it.
I think so. And it's something our members can easily get behind too. It's not going to take a lot of time on their behalf to share the campaign or to make the donation, because here's the thing, you can go to the website and set up a recurring donation. So it automatically comes out. We're not asking you to go in every month and make a payment.
Yes. That's a good
And
point.
then the nice thing is every year, it'll renew, unless they tell you not to renew it. And a lot of people just continue on with the donation. It's kind of like, some of your subscriptions that you have to other things. So, um, I just think it makes a lot of sense to give it a try. And these other organizations, trust me, they spend a lot. These are not PSAs, public service announcements we're seeing for St. Jude's and the Shriners, and they're paying money to be in these commercials. And they would not be spending the money if they weren't getting the return on their investment.
Absolutely.
That's a good point. Well, as a person who's been in the advertising business for a number of years, and you mentioned the impact of social media, what have you seen for clubs like Exchange Clubs change? Where should they be focusing their efforts to expand their reach in their community and beyond?
Well, I think the clubs, if they have a good Facebook presence, can help an awful lot because, quite frankly, the folks that are in Facebook right now are the folks that we're interested in joining Exchange. It's an older demographic. Uh, the young folks are not in Facebook as much as they used to be. They're doing all the TikTok and this and that and the other thing. But um, the older audience is still engaged in Facebook, and I think it's important for the clubs to have a Facebook presence, post on there all the time. I mean,
Yes.
if you're going to have it, you use it and do it. I mean, just having a Facebook page up there and just letting it sit there will do nothing for you, but you need to use it to promote your events, what you're doing, all those kinds of things. And it doesn't take any time at all.
No, and you're right. And really, you don't need any training really on any specific skill set like you would if you had a website or something else. So Facebook is great for our clubs. I agree. And really, I think people use it. I know I use it for legitimacy. In fact, I heard about an event, something going on, and I went to the Facebook page, and the Facebook page has not been updated since April of 2023.
Yikes.
It looked like they were still open, but at that point I was just, I'm out. This is not
If they're not
relevant.
invested in it, why would you be? Yeah.
Exactly. So it's important for
So,
clubs.
yeah, absolutely. But you have to work it. It's not instant. Somebody's got to put in some effort, but it's worth it. So
It
your
is
club
worth
should
it.
have somebody. Yeah, yeah. And it doesn't cost anything.
Nope.
It's the other thing.
And you know, I'll put out there too that one of the value adds of the membership in Exchange is that they can call national headquarters and talk to our very own social media specialist
True.
to get some tips and training.
And we have the social media tip series
Yes, ma'am.
online for more information. That's
Yeah.
true. Well, Rob, you, as we mentioned, you were the national president for the National Exchange Club 2007-8. And, you know, now we're at the end of 2024. That's a long time to stay involved in something at this type of level where you're intimately involved, where you're still bringing ideas and, in fact, generously offering this program. What keeps you want to be so involved with Exchange?
Well, I think any of us that have been national presidents have an obligation to keep working with the organization to make it succeed. Um, if we don't, then our year as national president really is meaningless as far as I'm concerned. It was a fantastic experience and it was a great honor for us. But we need to be there with the past national presidents. There's several of us, thank goodness, that are still around. And I think it's incumbent on each and every one of us to do everything we can to make Exchange prosper and grow.
I love that. And I appreciate that so much because it's clear to me that your heart is not to look at it as just your 1 year, but really your lifetime of involvement in service and really your legacy.
Well, and like I say, Exchange, for my year to have been really meaningful, Exchange has to prosper in the future. I want to make sure Exchange is here long after I'm here. And, that's why I'm doing it. And I know most of our past national presidents feel the same way. And if this campaign starts to work, we'll be hitting all of them up to maybe help us keep funding this program so we can keep it going until we can really get it moving along.
Sure.
Because I can see some great things for it. And it's just a matter of being persistent and keeping at it. The main thing when you're doing advertising and marketing is you just have to be consistent. Consistency is very important. And at some point it's successful. So that's kind of the goal.
Well, you're a true leader, Rob. I mean, everything you've just said screams leader, and Exchange is very fortunate to have you backing it. And I say that on behalf of the rest of the national headquarters staff too.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
And everybody there is so
what you guys are
thankful. Well, thank you. Everybody there is so thankful and excited about this. We talked about it this morning at our morning meeting, and everybody's excited to see it roll out and on board. Is there anything else we can discuss with you today, Rob?
I think we're ready to go. I just hope everybody likes the commercial that we put together. We specifically made it 60 seconds, so it's not too long, but it gives us enough information. If you look at the St. Jude's, the Shriners, those guys, those commercials are like 2 or 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
And after a while, it gets to be a little bit too much, but I think our message is succinct and it gets to the point, and that's what's important. So I'm excited to see it roll out, and I guess we'll be talking more about that us later in the week. And it's going to be a great experience, one way or the other.
It certainly is. And it's been really fun to work with you and your team. So thank you so much. And on behalf of the National Exchange Club, thanks for your commitment to Exchange and your leadership. And we're very excited. We're ready to roll it out. So thanks for joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, Rob Davidson of the Davidson Advertising Company, National Exchange Club President, 2007-8. And look for our campaign to roll out very soon.
Very soon.
And thanks for listening to this episode of Talk Exchange. To learn more, please visit nationalexchangeclub.org or the National Exchange Club Facebook page. Thanks for your interest in Exchange. Rob, you are a dream guest.
Yeah.